meaningful name over here, and that is a out file. Then I say use this particular out file and write the contents. So what are the contents I'm writing? George Bush and Barack Obama. Okay, these are the three, these are the two particular lines I'm writing it. Okay, these are the two particular lines I am writing it in a file. In a file. Then what I do? I close the connection between this particular file president and out file. What is out file? Out file is a variable that is pointing to president.txt. This file is open in which mode? Write mode. That means which method I should use? I should use a write method to write this particular string in this particular file called as president.txt. Then what I do? I close this particular file. Okay, then I use a variable name input file, okay, to open this same file. See, this same file I'm trying to open in which mode? In read mode. In read mode. Okay, then I use something called as print using read. Remove this. Print using read. This is only a helpful message that I'm reading the content. This is not reading the contents. Kindly pay attention. This is only for the display purpose. The actual command is input file dot read. So input file is this particular file. It is pointing to president.txt. We have opened it in the read mode and it is reading the contents. After we read the contents, we close the particular file. So let me run this particular. I have written this code in the function called as main. Is it compulsory? No, I could have given any name. For example, I could have given example Z. And over here, I could have said make a call to Z. Okay. So this is making a call to the Z. This is writing the content to the file. This is reading the content from the file and then close the contents. Let's run this. So when I run it, what happens is it shows the output using read George Bush, Barack Obama. So exactly what happened was it created a file, it wrote the contents, it closed the file. Then what happened? It opened the file president.txt and then the contents, these two lines which are written in the particular file were read using this particular line and then I am closing it. So this particular chap is responsible for reading the content and this is closing the contents. Now let's actually see whether the file is created or not. So if you go to this particular f:/fh, I have president.txt. Let me click on it and then what I get? I get George Bush and Barack Obama. I get George Bush and Barack Obama. Why Barack Obama is coming on the next line is for a very simple reason. In my code I have given \n. In my code I have given \n. Okay, so what it is doing, it is creating a file. It is creating a file. Kindly run this program on your terminal. Whichever editor you are using, whether you are using PyCharm or you are using Jupyter or you are using online compiler, what this is saying that there is a, in the F drive, create a folder fh and then president.txt. Kindly pay attention. You should have a folder called as fh. See, there is a folder called as fh. I have created that particular folder and you know how to create a particular folder. Okay, then don't write anything in this particular file. Our program should be writing the contents in this particular folder. In case you don't have a F drive, you could use a D drive or C drive, whatever it is. So kindly try it out. I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes to execute this. Yeah, you could use any folder. Point number one, pay attention. What you should be doing is in any drive, whether it is C drive, D drive, whichever drive it is, you create a folder called as FH. Does it need to be FH? No, you could have given any name. For example, let me create a new folder, file handling files. So what folder I have created? FH files. Right now what I have? I don't have anything over here. I don't have anything. What I will do? I'll copy this path. Okay, go to my program. Go to my program, which is this one. Okay, and I can change this. Okay, I can change this. What I have done in the directory, and in the directory now I'm writing the contents and reading the contents. Let me run the program now. The first part is writing the content, the second one is reading the contents. Okay, let's see. Now what it has done, it has read the contents. Now let me really go and check whether the file is created. See, f:/fh files. Initially nothing was there. Now it is president.txt. Those two entries have been written in the file. This is important. Okay, so kindly try it out. Quick. Yeah, let others also complete quickly. Those who are completed, just write done so that I can go for the next example. I'll give you a minute more, then I'll continue with the next example. Okay. Now that you know that there is something called as a file folder and there is something called as a file. So point number one, open is a command which is used to work with the file. The file could be opened in the write mode or read mode. Write means writing the contents, R means reading the contents. If I want to write the contents, what I have to do? I have to store this reference in some variable. So give some meaningful name. I have given a meaningful name called as out file. Okay. Then use a predefined method called as write to write the contents. Once the contents have been written, we need to break the reference between out file and open. Okay, this particular out file is pointing to some area in the memory where it is holding file.txt. So we have to break that reference. So out file.close will be breaking that reference between out file and open. Then what we do, we use the open command to open the same file in which mode? Read mode. Okay, now that reference is stored in input file. Then what I do, I use input file.read to read the content from this particular file and store it in this particular input file, saying that this is nothing but a reference variable pointing to this. Use a read method to read the contents and then display the contents. I'm displaying it using a print. And then you close the association between this input file and the file. Clear? Okay. So now what I have input file is equal to open so and so, opening it in the read mode. And then there is a command called as s1 is equal to input file dot read 4. That means read the 4 bytes. Okay. So print the content. Then you read the 15 bytes. So read that and store it in S2. Clear? Store it in S2. Now what will print do? Print will display the contents of S1, which is the first 4 bytes. Print S2 will display the next 15 bytes. Now the question is, what does print REPRST does? Just pay attention, okay? Just pay attention to my running of this particular program. So I am saying kindly read the contents of president.txt from fh folder. Let's go to that fh folder. Okay. We have president.txt. What we have? George Bush. Because of backslash n, it comes and cursor, takes the cursor on the next line and prints Barack Obama or writes Barack Obama. Done. So what should S1 is equal to input file dot read do? It should read the first four character. Which are the first four character? It is GEOR. Why GEOR? For a very simple reason. These are the first four byte GEOR. Done. Then from that location, how many characters we have to read? We have to read 15 characters. Okay. So what happens? GEOR is done, then GE, George Bush, okay, then backslash n, and then Barack. Everything is being read. 15 characters have been read, so everything will be read from the next location. GE space Bush, backslash n will be displayed as it is, and then Barack. Clear? Understood? Yes, no? Ayana. Now kindly pay attention. Okay, kindly pay attention very, very carefully. Okay, very, very carefully. What is this? This is going to read the first four characters, which is this one. Clear? Then what is this? S2 is equal to input file dot read 15. We have not printed. What we have done, we have printed the first four characters. What it did, it read the 15 characters, the next 15 characters. Clear? Now, what is this print S2 does? Print S2 will print this. This one. GE Bush Barack. GE Bush Barack. Because after the four characters, we have GE space Bush backslash and takes the cursor on the next line, and we have Barack. That is the 15 characters. Clear? Understood? Now, what does print REPRST means? From this location, that is after R, read everything, okay? Read everything as it is. That means if there is a backslash T, display backslash T. If there is a backslash N, display backslash N. It won't interpret that backslash N. It will keep the cursor on the same line and keep on reading it. And keep on reading it. See, there was after Bush cursor on the next line in a file. See, George Bush, Barack Obama is on the next line. But what it did, it kept the cursor on the same line. Backslash n was read as it is. So REPR means read the content as it is. Do not interpret backslash commands and display it as it is. Display it as it is. Write out. First of all, try it out as it is. Then I will tell you what to do. Let everyone complete, Avinash. Then I'll come to you. Okay, so pay attention what I have done. I made certain changes in the file president.txt. What I did, I said after George Bush, Barack Obama, I said Joe backslash t Biden backslash t Biden. Okay, then I'll come back backslash t means tab. Then I'll come to my program. Okay, and here I will say I'll remove this. I'll remove this, and I will say okay. S1 is equal to input file dot read print S1 print S1. So what happened using read? Remove this. What happened was it read the entire contents. It read the entire contents and gave me George Bush, Barack Obama, Joe backslash t Biden. Okay. Now here when I press backslash and I press enter key physically, I press enter key. Then what happened? It was in a position to interpret this. Okay. It was in a position to interpret this and read everything. So when I printed, it gave me George Bush, Barack Obama. But this particular backslash t and backslash t, it was not in a position to interpret. It was not in a position to interpret. For example, I'll press a tab, I'll press a tab, I'll press two tabs, okay? I will save it and I want to check whether it displays the content as it is or not. Let's go back and check. Using read, George Bush, Barack Obama, Joe, one tab, two tab, and Biden. Okay? So the first part was very clear. What we did was we opened the file, we use read command, we displayed the content and it is positioned to interpret it exactly as it is. Understood? Then again, when I tried and say, kindly read the next 35 characters, what has happened is it has already reached the end of the file. It has already reached the end of the file. That means what has happened is it has read all the characters. It has reached the end of the file. And when it has reached the end of the file, what has happened is it couldn't read anything over here. And it says the end of the file and it couldn't display anything. Just one moment. Okay. Okay, so what has happened is because of the read, it has gone to the end of the file. Now from here, it is trying to read the content, but there is no contents out over there. So what we should do? We should go to the beginning of the file. And how I can go? Only two things I have taught you: how to close a file and how to open a file. So what I should do is I should close the file after reading the contents. Okay, again open the file. And now what we want to read? We want to read 35 characters. I don't know whether 35 is there or not in the file. And I want to do two things out over here. I'm not interested in this because I've already seen what it does. I'm only interested in one thing, that is what does print reprh2 does. Okay, so let's see when I try to run this, what happens. So using read, it said George Bush, Barack Obama, Joe Biden. Okay. And in the next case, what I did, I pressed two tabs. So George Bush backslash and took the cursor on the next line. No, it didn't. It simply displayed backslash and Barack Obama again backslash and then I had pressed two tabs. Yes or no? So that was also not interpreted. So it gave me Joe backslash T Biden. So kindly try this out. So what does input file dot read line does? Input file dot read line will read the contents one line at a time. Will read the contents one line at a time. Okay. So here what I'm doing, I'm saying line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. Okay. But actually how many lines I have? 1, 2 and 3. Only 3 lines. Let's remove this also. So that let's see what happens when we have only 2 lines. Sorry. Let's remove this also. We have only 2 lines. Okay. And we have only 2 lines and we have given 4 read line. So what does read line means? Read one line at a time. Read one line at a time. So I'm interested in what will these 2 lines will do. And let's see what will this do. Print REPR line 1, print REPR line 2, and how this will be interpreted since we have only 2 lines. Let's see. So point number 1, we have to work on which file? President.txt in the read mode. Let's open this particular file and see the content first. What we have got 2 lines. Okay, done. So now these 2 lines should be interpreted correctly, that it should read the 2 lines. George Bush, yes. What is the second line? Backslash n. So it will give me the blank line. Second line was blank. And third line was Barack Obama. Kindly pay attention. Read line will read everything till backslash n. So it has read. Backslash n means take the cursor on the next line. So this is the blank line. Then what I have? Then I have the third line. Yes or no? Right? Then I have the third line. Which is that line? Barack Obama. So what it is doing is George Bush backslash n, Barack Obama backslash n. Okay? Barack Obama backslash n. Even if we have now n number of read line, it doesn't complain. Okay, it won't complain. I'm storing the contents. Okay. And if I do something like this, if I do something like this and run it and see what happens. George Bush backslash and Barack Obama backslash and okay. There were so many more lines over here. Blank, blank, blank. Nothing is there. Doesn't complain. REPR line 1. So what will happen? George Bush backslash n, no issues. REPR line 2, George Barack Obama backslash n, again no problem. For this particular line, nothing is found, so displays a pair of single quotes. Again, print REPR line 4, again displays a pair of single quote, no problem. So it will never give me an error if you put an additional lines over here, because we are simply saying keep on displaying the content. So what will happen once it crosses the end of the file, it will keep on displaying the blank lines in this case of print, and single quote in case of REPR. So I'm giving you a problem. I'm giving you a program. You have to tell me what it is doing. You have to run it as it is, and then you have to tell me your understanding by typing your answers in the chat window. Yes, Avinash, tell me what is your understanding of this program by typing your answer in the chat window. Yes, great. So what does read line does is it reads all the lines from the file and puts it in a list. What you could do is you could open that particular file, keep on copying those particular lines, okay? Make a long file and then run it and see how your list will look. Yes, it is reading the data as a list. Good.
सर
Yes, yes.
सर इससे जो पहले वाला कोड था उसमें एरर आ रहा था.
Which one?
इससे पहले वाला ही एक ऊपर जो आया हुआ.
This one?
नो.
This one?
इससे यस सर. सर आपने जो चैट में डाला था वो वाले कोड में था थोड़ा.
Because there is an indentation error. आपको रिमूव करना है.
यस.
ये
अच्छा वो
देखिए
हम
लाइन
करें.
इंडेंटेशन एरर है.
और वो प्रिंट
वो भी
उसको बैक.
इंडेंटेशन एरर है. एक ही लाइन में आएगा सारा.
ओके.
करो, चेंज करो. So the explanation for this program is input lines dot read lines will read the contents of the file, okay, and it will push it as a list. Kindly pay attention that your backslash t and backslash n will not be interpreted, so it will be copied as it is. It will be copied as it is. The next program, I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, step by step. Let's see what it is doing. Now, point number one is something like this. We have to read the contents of one particular file. We have to read the contents of one particular file. And we have to copy that contents in another file. We have to copy that contents in another file. Clear? Copy the content from one file to another file. Understood? So, let me first run this code as it is. And I will first explain these two lines. What is F1? F1 is enter the source file. What is F2? Input, enter the target file. So let's enter the file name as residents.txt. Fine. Enter the target name t.txt. What happened was it gave me an error. If you look over here, it is saying that main was called. So control came over here. And after that, it says this particular file is not found. No such file or directory president.txt. Why it gave an error? Because we simply type president.txt. What will president.txt do? It will go and check in the directory from where we are running, and it will try to search that particular file. Where I am running this program from? I am running this program from something called as which particular folder? 1 minute. Yeah. See, I hope you can see it. I started my Jupyter notebook from this particular batch, C:user Girish desktop batch 156 Python, and here I said Jupyter notebook. So my Jupyter notebook started. So what will happen? It will serve this particular directory. It is going to serve this particular directory for my file president.txt, which is not here. It is in f:/fh. It is in f:/fh. So point number 1, let me run this again. f://fh. What is the file name? I guess it is presidents.txt. Okay. presidents.txt. Okay. So this particular line f1 is equal to input, enter the source file dot strip. What it is going to do? It is going to take everything, remove the enter key, and store it in f1. What is f2 is equal to input, enter the target file strip me do? It will try to create a particular file in which mode? In the write mode. Where I'm mentioning it? I'm mentioning it over here. Okay. So let's do this particular line now. Let's enter some file name. So what I will do, I'll press enter and let's copy this. And here I will type oh, I made a mistake. So again, it is going to give me the error. F:/fh p.txt. Okay. So this is the file. This is another file. What is the source file? President.txt. What is the target file? p.txt. Nothing has been mentioned. I just accepted two entries. F1 is pointing to presidents.txt. F2 is pointing to p.txt. Now what I will do, I will check os.path is file F2. That means check if the target file exists. Check if the target file exists. That means check whether this particular p.txt is existing. If it exists, then what you should do, it should display F2 already exists and there is no need to continue. You should come back. That means what it is going to do, point number 1, it is going to check whether the F2 file, which is p.txt, is already there. If it is there, do not proceed further, just come out. By displaying the helpful message, p.txt already exists, come out. But in our case, p.txt is not there. So what will happen? This will be false. Now for this to use os.path is file, what I had to do, I had to import os.path. And for system.exist, I have to import sys. I have to import sys. Done. So F1 is ready, F2 is ready. What is F1? President.txt. What is F2? p.txt. Then we say open F1 in which mode? Read mode. What is F1? F1 is pointing to that f:/fh president.txt. Out file is equal to open F2 in the write mode. The F2 is pointing to p.txt. Open it in the write mode. Okay. Declare the two variable count lines and count characters. Count lines and count character. Okay. For line in input files, what is input file? Input file is reading the contents of F1. Yes or no? Reading the contents of F1. So what it is going to do? It is going to read the first line, place it over here. So number of lines will be incremented by 1. And the length of that particular line will be calculated using a predefined function called as length. What does output file.write indicates? Kindly write this first line, which in our case was George Bush. But write that particular line in output file. What is output file? Output file is nothing but F2. What is F2? F2 was nothing but this particular p.txt. So in the p.txt, what we have done, we have written only this particular line, okay, which is George Bush. And what I have done, line has been incremented by 1, characters has been incremented. That means the length of that particular line was taken into consideration. Then read the second line. What was the second line? It was Barack Obama. So the lines was incremented by 1, count characters was again added. Then it will try to read the third character. There is no third character. So what will happen? This will come out. And then it will display that 2 lines and so characters are copied. 2 lines and so characters are copied in that particular file. Then I close both the files. Then what I will do, I will open it and check it whether the file is really created or not. So let's press enter. When you press enter, it will say 2 lines and 25 characters copied. 2 lines and 25 characters copied. Now let me go and check whether it has created a file called as p.txt. Has it created p.txt? Yes, absolutely it has created p.txt. Now let me again open president. No, before that. Now let me run this program again. Now if you run the program again, this will be working fine. This will be working fine. But now what should happen? If os.path is file f2 exist or not, it should check. That means now in this case p.txt is existing. So what should happen? It should say already exists and it should come out. Now let's check it out. So when I press now p.txt, what will happen? It will say that f:/fh p.txt already exists. Exception has occurred. Okay. It is going to give me the system exit this particular method and it is going to come out of the shell. It is going to come out of the shell. Shell means the where it is running from the kernel shell. Okay. So main thing over here was we haven't learned exception handling. So we don't know really how to handle this. When you learn the exception handling, at that time you'll come to know. Now, and in this case, what has happened is this particular line was important, that this particular file already exists. Already exists. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll make the changes. I'll press enter, enter, enter. So what I have done, I have pressed enter. 3 lines, 4 lines, 5 lines, 6 lines, 7 lines. And here I have pressed enter. No. Let me save this. Okay, let me save this. Again, let me run the program. Copy this. F:/fh. And now p1.txt. Now there is no p1.txt. So what should happen? It should copy the content. But now it says 6 lines and 29 characters copied. So let's go back over here. Okay. So what it has done, it has taken the blank lines also. It has taken the blank lines also along with it and it has written that particular content. So if I go over here and check it, p1.txt will also have this particular blank lines. So I want you to try out all this task which I have mentioned. So I hope you must have executed this code. Now an assignment. If we look in this particular program, we read the content from this particular file and wrote it in this file. So which was responsible for it? This was responsible for reading the content from this file, and this line was responsible for writing the content, and this was only displaying the contents on the screen. Now I want the same content, that means 6 lines and 54 characters copied. This line I want to write it in the file. I want to write it in the file. So kindly do this. You will have to write 1 or 2 lines. Kindly write it. I want to write this count lines and count characters copied. Instead of that, only write this lines and characters in a file. Only write this count lines and count characters in a file. Come on, think about it. That means you will have to write it outside the file. Yes, means after you have written it, you will have to write this in over here. I want this particular variable as well as this particular contents to be written in a file. Giving you 2 minutes to think about it. Let me check out. Yes. Tell me how to do it. Kindly complete it and show it to me tomorrow. Okay. What we learned over here was there are. What if I want to append the content? Let's see. So there is a main function in which I have written output file is equal to open f:/fh info.txt. Open it in the append mode.
सर लीव हो गई।
So A will append the contents to the file. Kindly run it. Every time you run it, the old contents will not be lost. Run it as many times as you want. First time it should create a file. Next time it won't create a file. It will keep on appending the contents. Don't worry, this notes as well as this video lecture will be appended in the evening. Okay, let's understand this. What it is doing. From random, import random integer. Out file is equal to open f:/fh number.txt. So I'm creating a file called as number.txt. Open it in which mode? Write mode. For I in range 10, that means it is going to run how many times? 10 times. What I'm going to do? I'm going to generate a random integer. Okay, I'm going to generate a random integer between 0 to 9. Convert it into string and write it in the file. Convert it into string and write it in the file. That means the 0 or 1 or 2, whichever it is written, it is a string. Okay, then write a space. Then write a space. Keep on doing this for how many times? 10 times. That means 10 random integers should be generated between 0 to 9 and it should be written in the file. So for that, what you have to do? You have to say from random import random integer. That means from the random package, I only want random integer. That's the meaning of it. From random package, only import random integer. Do not import everything. Now what I need to do? I need to open the file number.txt in the read mode. In the read mode. Okay. So what I do over here? I say input file is equal to open f:/fh number.txt, read it. Input.read. Read the contents from that particular file and store it in S. That means S has got now entire numbers, but it is a string. How you know it's a string? Because we have written it as a str and write will write it as a string. That means this particular S is a string. But we know a function called as s dot split. What does s dot split do? We split it as soon as it finds a space. But how you know that in a file there is a space? Because of this chap. I said kindly write a random integer, along with that kindly write a space also, because if you are not done, then this will be stored as one particular string, and then I couldn't have split up this particular numbers. So I wrote a space over here. Okay. Then what you have to do for x in s dot split? Read the first number x, convert it into float. I wrote an integer, but what I'm doing, I'm converting it into float just to try it out. Okay, store it in numbers. Okay, that entire number series which was integer is converted into float and stored it in numbers. Then what I do over here, I say for number in numbers. That means this is my original list. Pick up one number at a time, display it. Pick the second number in the number, display it. Keep on doing it. Let's run it. So when you run it, what happens? You get this particular numbers. We get this particular numbers. Again run it to check whether different set of random numbers are being written or not. See, new set of numbers are being written. So point number one, two things this particular program is doing. First of all, writing the random integers. Second point, reading the random integers from the file using this particular concept that there is a space. So I use split. If I'm writing an integer, can I convert it into float? Yes. And display the contents and then close the file. Let's actually see what is written in numbers.txt. If you see number.txt, it has written this particular integers. It has written this particular integers. Atinder, I'm not in a position to figure it out because indentation, if it is outside the loop, then it is perfectly fine. Number of lines are so and so. Okay, you're using a write method. You're writing the contents. You're writing the contents. Why you are written in the braces? Atinder, why you are written in the braces? Kindly unmute yourself. This particular braces, why you have done it?
Sir, I was using the f string method.
Okay, got it. Sorry, I didn't saw the message. Okay. Okay, let me quickly take the attendance. 1127 162 1220 1239 1249, 1250, 1250, 1251, 1252, 1253, 1254, 1255, 1256, 1257, 1258, 1259, 1260, 1257, 1258, 1259, 1260. Okay. 1261, 1262, 1263. 1265, 1266, 1267, 1268, 1269, 1270, 1271, 1272, 1273, 1274, 1275, 1276, 1277, 1277, 1278, 1279, 1280, 1280, 1281, 1283, 1285, 1286, 1288, 1289,
Sir, you don't speak 1287. Sir,
just checking on the chalk pad whether your entry is there or not. What's your roll number?
1287.
Name?
Gaurav Chug.
Late admission?
Yes, sir.
Joining date? Any idea?
No, sir.
In December or in November? That I want.
November.
How come you missed out? Okay, I'll update it. Sorry.
Okay, sir.
1288, 1289, 1290, 127, 1290, 1292, 1293, 1294. Those who are typed late, I will consider it later. Let me run it according to the number which I am running. 1296, 1297, 1298, 1299, 301, 1299, 302, 303, 304, 305, 306. 302, 303, 305, 306, 304. 3004, 3014, 5039, 5042, 5044, 5045, 5046, 5047, 5048, 4951, okay.
Sir,
Go to 5042.
Sir, 1287. Please check.
Now I'll be calling the roll number. You have to tell me present or absent. 5042, 3004, 1298, 1296, 1293, 1292, 1289, 1288, 1286, 1283, 1281, 1280, 1277, 1273, 1268, 1262, 1261, 1250. 1290, 1277. Okay,
Sir, please check.
roll number.
1287.
See, I noted it down. I'll basically check it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any other doubts you have? Any other queries you have?
Sir, 1290.
Let's see, 1290, 1290, 1290. Seats present, Pankaj. In the question, in the last ST1, I guess there was one MCQ which was wrong, the wrongly marked. Okay. So those marks will not be considered and your paper will be evaluated from the remaining questions. I guess you have the emerging technology paper today, right? So I'll be leaving my class right now. Okay, we'll be continuing with the file handling tomorrow. Okay, this document will be uploaded in the evening. So kindly go through it along with the lecture notes.